Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Aunties, where we talk about a variety of subjects. We bring the group chat to life. We have healthy debates, spirited, if you would, and we're here for laughs. I am Key. I'm joined with my co-hosts Jay and Joe, and we're here to talk about this particular topic. We're talking about something that I think is pretty interesting in the times we're in right now. We're living in an era where nothing really feels built to last, if you will. People change their careers. Sometimes you change your careers maybe 5 to 7 times in a lifetime now. You may have friendships that may have a falling out or fade without any conversation. The world just has shifted in a way where permanence is the things where generations that have built things to last, it just doesn't exist anymore. The whole world is just changing. Things feel a bit weird. Think about it. 6, 7 years ago, the job you had, the people that you talked to every day, where you lived, who you were as a person, how much of that still stands true today? It's a lot different for a lot of us. And it may not be because something bad happened or something went terribly wrong. It's just that nothing seems to really stay or stick around. And that can span the test of time for a variety of things. So we're going to talk about that. Let's jump into it. What do you guys think?
I think you laid it out very well. It's very true. Nothing seems to stick, right? Things seem to be very temporary, very short lived, and what do you call that? Like not deep in the knife. Fleeting moments are becoming more constant than stuff that's sticking and that's solid and it's familiar. The familiarity of things is, to me, going away. Like you can say, "Oh, this I remember when would span for 5, 6, 7 years. I remember when is just yesterday now."
Jobs you used to have where there's security, you're at a job for 20 plus years. Ain't like that no more. You get swapped out like baseball cards. You don't see nobody staying at a job more than at least 3 years. 5 years, you pushing it. But now the more current years, last 10, 15 years has been different. Relationships, nobody takes the constitution of marriage seriously anymore. You get married a couple years down the road, have an argument, you piss me off, I want a divorce. There's no working it out. There's no it's flipped around like baseball.
Picking up your dirty drawers to the court. No.
There's no talking about it. There's no nothing. It's just, I want a divorce. That's it. And a lot of times marriages are happening because it's contractual. It's transactional. Let me change my word.
I think you had it right the first time.
It's just not the same anymore. Nobody takes anything the way it was meant to be seriously anymore. You're a baseball card. At some point down the road, you're going to get swapped.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth.
Do you think that because of the volatility of anything, whether it's the lack of permanence, the lack of stability, whether it's work, relationships, etc., do you think that affects people subconsciously, their ability to be comfortable in a space too long, to be attached, to be too certain about something? Because within the last few years, everything has just been very, I don't want to say fluid, but just there's an element of uncertainty. So it causes people to have like 1 foot in something and then 1 foot out just in case. Kind of more of that.
I've always been a backup person, personally. But I think it comes down to an ability to trust, right? To trust what may or may not happen. I think in terms of the workforce, that's changed a long time ago of you being in a role for 10, 15, 20 years. That's been out the window a long time ago, whether it be the company or whether it be the individual. They're not staying in roles longer than a year and a half, 2, 3 years at most. And that's people who want to grow and want to elevate and want to move forward, or that's changing in the organization or whatever have you in corporate America. That's you looking to do something different or them putting you in a different position if they choose to keep you because fit better over here versus over there. Relationship wise, I think they're not taking a lot of crap anymore. Things that they don't feel that they need to deal with anymore. They're setting the boundaries that they need to set where people stuck around probably longer than they should have or wanted to. And the same thing, I don't think people are putting in the fight that they need to put in for something that they've spent so much time and invested so much time in. They're giving up a little sooner now. And I find that's not making sense. People are not taking the time to make things work after a certain number of years. Is it just easy to walk away? right? Versus if we've only been dealing with 6 months, I don't have much more time to waste. So it's like I need to move on. Rightfully so. You shouldn't be wasting time. You don't have time to waste. But I think people are less trusting because of a lot of the uncertainty, especially in the workforce. So
It's almost like living your life on eggshells in a way.
I don't I hear you. Do you feel that way?
Me? Yeah, sometimes.
With if
Just
is it
this
in a particular
uncertainty
area?
sometimes, yeah.
In a particular area, whether it is what I mean by that, do you feel that way?
Whether it's work, you have intentions of being someplace for a certain amount of time, but atmosphere and situations dictate your decision to move on. You have no other choice where initially you was hoping that this would be someplace you can stay for a while.
Mm.
Relationship wise, it's nobody wants to work at anything anymore. Nobody is putting up, to Janine's point, they're not putting up with bullshit anymore. At least that's how I feel sometimes.
well, they shouldn't put up with bullshit, but something that's
What I'm
worth
saying
working
is
for, they
like
should put in the work for it if they feel it's
one
worth.
disagreement should not say you guys break up.
Right.
There has to be some level of willing to work at it if you care enough about that person to work at it. There is a point where you're supposed to move on if it's just not working after there's been an attempt to try and work through whatever issues you may have. Now nobody is even doing that anymore. So it is
think I hate to generalize.
I know.
So when you say nobody, it just to me is a subset of individuals that in that bucket. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm on eggshells, but with anything. And again, I think it has a lot to do with even with work. I've changed jobs. I think maybe it's because historically for 18 years I've worked in a consultative capacity.
Yeah.
So I'm always in different spaces and
Mhm.
absorbing different energies from different, industries and people and personalities and everything. So when it comes to situations now where the job market is very crazy right now,
Mhm.
but I also know that there's a cycle. I think everything has a cycle.
Mhm.
The cycle is faster now than anything in the past,
Mhm.
in my opinion. But everything to me has a cycle from jobs, relationships, etc. There's always going to be some sort of ending at some point.
Mhm.
So I think for me, particularly in the job market, like I don't feel like this, based on my experience, I don't feel like I'm working on eggshells anywhere. I think even with the onslaught of AI, that's a whole big thing now, and it's only getting worse. And depending on who you talk to, I don't think it's getting worse. I think that we're just entering a different new age of doing things differently and the workforce
Mhm.
differently. Job titles will be different. The way you engage will be different. So I tend to embrace change as that way. When it comes to walking on eggshells in a relationship, I'd be damned if I ever did that. I will never do that.
I guess that's the wrong terminology. Imma just use the original, which is baseball cards. Everyone is a baseball card now. Just a matter of when you decide to trade it in
So
and swap.
you've said that a number of times in a number of different episodes, and I can see through your vantage point why you would say that. I will never say everyone because I don't
Mhm.
believe that to be true. If we look at it from the relationship perspective, I still firmly believe that there's someone out there for every damn.
Everybody, yeah.
And I believe that when you find that someone, you won't feel like you're being traded off as a baseball card. I feel like if we take that same analogy and be applicable to job, well, that may be true. They can you
Mhm.
swapped out either way. But prior to 2022, I think there were certain things that a person can do in a job setting to prevent them from being swapped out so easily in terms of how they show up on the job. Now, post 2022, and especially when we talk about AI, I think things are different. And I think that cycle that I just talked about is going faster than people can keep up. That's what I'll say.
I think people, with things being temporary, job market, let's just go with that
Mhm.
specifically, you have to create more options for yourself. You have to make yourself more needed. So with the AI space, everybody's like AI is going to replace jobs to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, AI still needs a person behind it. So it's a matter of, are you upskilling yourself in those areas to keep yourself marketable? So I think if we go back to the temporary thing, people who do have options and
Mhm.
don't feel like they have to stay someplace, it's gonna be temporary for them. They're not gonna stick somewhere or do something that they don't want to do because they have all these other options. And that could
Mhm.
be relationship wise, work wise, whatever, financial wise, whatever it is. If they have the means to pick and choose so readily, they will.
I only said what I said because I'm coming from kind of the same background as you, Kira. Majority of my career has been in the consulting capacity. And initially, when I started doing it, it was convenient for me because of being a single mom and the things that I did during those ages where they were at home. Now that I don't have children at home anymore, I'm trying to get out of the consulting aspect and actually stay at one position. The problem is because of the mindset of what corporations and organizations have, there is a cycle. So every few years, it comes to a point where either the decision is mutual. I've walked away from jobs and gone into another one because the opportunity was better over there because I've had that mindset. But that's why I use the analogy of the baseball card because it's either you or the other person is going to swap. I've done swapping and I've also been swapped. It's just how it goes. And that's the stigma, unfortunately, from being in consulting for so long. That's always going to be placed on me because sometimes when I interview or I go through the steps to get into a new role, they ask, what was the reason for you going into consulting to begin with? So those questions do come up of why you move around so much. Was that a personal choice or?
And it's just a matter of how you respond to answer it. People may look at it differently. So if a person has always had contract work, right, which
Mhm.
I think is a little bit different from consulting to a certain degree, but if that's all they have, people can look at that in a negative fashion if they're closed-minded. And it's really up to you to bring it out so that you can take that negative thought that they have and give them a different perspective during the interview,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I think I love the consulting environment. I didn't do a lot of contract work. I do more consulting, but I love that environment because again, it afforded me the ability to step into different spaces, different
Mhm.
industries, and learn a bunch of different things. And I think that even though it's so interesting, 10 years ago, I read about the way the job market was going. And they said this 10 years ago, or it might have been a little bit longer, where you'll have more people within the gig mindset, where you'll have more consultants out there. I
Mhm.
think I don't have the statistics, but I believe that we do have more consultants out, obviously, from 10 years ago, or
Yeah.
that are running multiple jobs concurrently. That definitely is happening. For someone
Mhm.
working a 9 to 5, and literally people are working 2 jobs. Now, I don't know how
Mhm.
much of that is happening now, but it does exist where
It
someone's
does.
remote and then they literally have another laptop and they're doing it. And they're
Mhm.
doing it happens successfully. I think with AI, we're moving to a place because of this lack of certainty within the job market where I
Mhm.
believe people need to hone in on the skills that they do have. For example, if you're in accounting, if you are in even your administrative skills or
Mhm.
marketing, whatever it is, and juggle that hustle on the side, right? Because you can literally take those skills that you have and parlay them to multiple companies. And I think there's the people that are actively doing that now. And those are the people, to me, in my opinion, that are going to benefit more so than that traditional person that just does their 9 to 5 and that
Mhm.
they're hoping and praying that the company they work for, they may retire or work in perpetuity. I think that there are some people that have been at companies for many years and they're flourishing. But I also believe that people need to be agile and make sure that they can take the skill sets that they have. And if you are a consultant, you might want to get into it because
Mhm.
with things are changing. That cycle with AI is happening so damn fast. You need to be, and it's so interesting because you got people that are totally against it and they will get burned. You have to embrace it. It's not going away.
Mhm.
People on the job that don't wanna use it for whatever reasons, right? And meanwhile, they subconsciously, they don't even realize they are using it. I just think that nothing's permanent, not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So if you take that approach and you realize that nothing's permanent, perhaps it'll order your steps in a way where you won't feel so uncertain, I guess.
I'll say it a different way. Adaptability is stability. So
Fact.
being able to adapt creates the stability because you're going to be able to move and be agile and take on these new different things, which creates that stability for you, that
Mhm.
financial stability, that knowledge stability, all those things. If I think about it, was you said that people don't want to use AI at work or whatever have you. So there's this thing I read that some people do adapt slowly, they migrate or whatever have you, but certain age groups will tell on themselves. People of a certain age group will say, "Oh, I use AI to create this deck." Where the younger groups is like, "Here's the deck. I did all this work. No guilt, nothing." But I think it is an age where we are adaptability is going to be the new word of stability instead of
But
saying temporary and all these kinds of things because life is temporary.
We
But
only
people don't wanna
here.
adapt. That's the problem. There's so many people that don't wanna adapt. There's so many people that fight it. And I always say the longer you fight it, go ahead, knock yourself out, keep fighting it, and let's see where you end up.
Yeah.
And I would usually say 5 years, but the way things are going now, it could be 2 years. You have to adapt.
So if we talk about those topics of temporary and things like that, like Joe mentioned at the top of the call, people stayed in jobs longer. Then and now segment,
Mhm.
people stayed in jobs longer. People stayed in one city, one town. They didn't branch out. They didn't. I listen. I remember a quick story before I even finished the thing. Living in New York, girl in the Bronx. My time spent in Manhattan was for work. I didn't go and explore and get to know the city. And I wasn't one of the people that's hopping on a train getting to know the city. I stayed in the Bronx. When I went to work in the city, I went to the city just to go to work, not to really explore. People
Mhm.
just like their routine, I guess, so to speak. So yeah, one city, they have friends forever and ever and ever. And we talked about this before. Are we keeping friendships because of the tenure of the friendship, or because, or what else? What other reason are we maintaining these friendships? Is this because it's longevity? We say we're good friends. We probably have 100 years of a friendship. That's an exaggeration, but 20, 30, 40 years of a friendship, how much do we really know about this person? Change. Today, people are adapting to changing careers more frequently than others actually choosing to. They're not waiting for the company to choose it for them, so to speak. They're
Mhm.
coming in the gate. They want to be an executive director tomorrow. So
Yeah.
some, not all. Long gone is the loyalty. The company is not being loyal to you. You're not being loyal to the company. You're coming in for a specific reason. Do your job, get your paycheck, whatever that job may be, and
Mhm.
leave. And that company wants you to come in, do that job. They give you that paycheck for however long it is.
Mhm.
And that's what it is. People are leaving the city. People are leaving the states to further their careers or whatever. People are leaving the country to go find their spouses. I know a coworker who went to a whole nother country, came back married. Who knew? It's like
Yeah, it's happening. I know somebody too. Yeah.
another friend of mine. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? I'm married. Oh, really? Who from where? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
It's are moving and shaking in different ways, and they're not sitting back waiting, and they're not staying in things for longer than they have to or need to.
Good chef.
I think when you linger, you shouldn't linger too long.
Shouldn't. Even
Should
in relationships, like or work, nowhere where it feels like it's exhausting and it's taking too much of an effort and it's
Mhm.
not feeling good.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
know, like who wants to be in that situation?
Just
Sometimes temporary is not bad. Sometimes temporary is what it's supposed to be, temporary.
I agree.
So, this is to the next segment of Pick a Struggle.
Ready for the game show? Pick a struggle.
So, let's pick a struggle, security or freedom. Do you think people actually want stability anymore, or are we all just addicted to having options?
I'll go back to my statement. Adaptability is stability. So I want the freedom to adapt, and it's going to create the stability I need.
That's a perfect way of saying it because I don't think I've always liked having options. I don't give a damn what it was. I don't care if I
Mhm.
was buying a white shirt. Imma go to 5 different stores before I select the shirt that I want that's white. Imma look at the whole bunch of different variations. I like to see options.
Or take
Mhm.
4 of them home and return 3. I don't know.
Yeah, I like to have options, so that's my take. But I also think it's a great question because even when you tie that back to relationships, that's probably why people don't or less prone to commit because one of you said it, I can't remember who, or maybe you both said it in different ways earlier in this episode, but when you have options, that leads you to that's probably why a person isn't committing to one person because they know they got a roster of others. Now, I always say
Who said that? Okay.
I'm paraphrasing. You didn't say
Okay.
it that way, but no one used those words, but I'm paraphrasing. But
Okay.
relationship, if you have options, it's some that makes it a person less prone to say, okay, I give this person my all.
Okay.
Unless, and I'm not against that. I always say, and I tell my kids, keep your roster until someone shows you that you don't know, you no longer need one. That's it. But everybody doesn't roll that way, and everybody's not prone to wanting a roster. Some people want that. I got to have my true love right off the bat. And, it doesn't always work out that way. But I also think by and large, and I had a conversation with an old coworker of mine years past, and he basically, if getting a man's point of view, he was like, especially with all these sites and apps and everything, like he says, he was like, I can easily swipe. So I date a girl on Monday. I could swipe on Wednesday, I could have somebody else, and there's nothing wrong with that. So long as you're not committing, you're enjoying, you're figuring out what you want. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, me personally.
I don't have a problem with that as long as everybody knows what's happening. Don't be deceitful about it. Don't
Yeah.
lie about it. Make it known in the beginning that I'm single and I'm playing my singles position.
You ain't gotta say like, "Hey, listen, I'm just."
I mean, you don't have to say it in that way, but I'm trying to say keep your singles position.
Yeah.
You need to date and date different people until you figure out or know what you exactly want
That's
or
it.
who is more compatible to you.
Nothing wrong with it. You could easily just go and say, "Hey, listen, I'm just trying to have a good time."
Mhm.
That's code for don't be expecting us to walk down the aisle. Let's have a good time. Be done with
Mhm.
it. And if we have a good time, maybe we'll call each other. If we feel, we'll see each other again. And if we're not, okay, it's get with the program, people. All right? Not a damn thing. Even the love. Listen, I'm with the love of my life. For over 30 years. Guess what? Eventually, we're going to die. It's going to happen. I can't stop it. He can't stop it. My kids can't stop it. So while we're here, we're going to continue to choose each other and love on each other. But the point is, nothing is permanent. Not a damn thing. So don't cry over spilled milk. If something happened with the job and it changed, all right, keep on stepping, baby. If you don't want to be with this man and he acting up, oh, goodbye. You want to be with this girl, she acting funky, fuck her. Permanent, man. Come on, live your life. I'ma always say this: live your life. Don't let nobody push you down. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. All right, let's.
So I guess we all agree we all want freedom, the options to choose.
I
And just that don't stay stagnant.
said both.
She said both. This is your life. You can have it your way, like Burger King, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do what I want.
It's my prerogative.
That's right. With that, let's get into this auntie court case. This one is crazy. This one's I picked it just for Joe.
Oh,
Which
shoot.
is this? Oh,
Welcome to Aunties Court. Court is now in session.
All right. This week's auntie's court case, we have the case of the people versus road rage. I don't have too much to say. Let's roll the tape.
Pounds per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child place holidays available with 22 kilograms of baggage included. Book now with Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. Patronational protected.
I realized that you said for me. Man, listen, that dude that was trying to cut the other person off clearly didn't know what the hell they were doing. I'm a professional driver, hands down. I challenge anybody to come at me.
I'm a challenge you, bitch. I'm challenging you.
Been driving entirely too long.
It don't matter. It looks like, honestly, there must have been a back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that clip, you can see the passenger in the front car. There's a passenger. She was hanging out. He or she, I don't know, kind of hanging out. And they was giving the person the finger or probably talking. So there was a back and forth. And what I was able to deduce from watching that, it looked like the person behind them was just angry that they couldn't get ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
Typical road rage stupidity, in my opinion, right? Maybe the person in front didn't want to move over. And it's crazy. If you look at the comments in that, okay, who caused the accident?
The truck that went around.
Jay, you agree?
I don't remember, damn it. I'm talking about the car that's going zigzag. That motherfucker caused the accident.
Truck behind was
Okay.
trying to get in front of the car
Okay.
because they wouldn't move over.
So
But if you're going to do that, you were supposed to have enough space to get in front of that car.
here's the catch. You know what's so funny? So I agree with you. The person caused their own accident. In the comments, could you believe that there were people saying that the car in front caused the accident because they didn't want to move over? This is the way the world. This is how people. Don't you love social media? Because see what we see. We all saw the same thing, but everybody would see things differently based on their own experiences. I will keep saying it till the cows come home, right? So clearly, the people that thought the car in front, because see, they should have moved over because they should. No, it's all to me. You know how I feel about road rage is dumb to me. Like not even that serious. If the person was, in the front and however it started, we don't know how it started. They didn't want to move over. Maybe they couldn't move over. I don't know.
At the end of the day, there's 4 freaking lanes.
No, but you know what it is?
You got open wide road, huh?
I agree. The person behind the one SUV that ended up having the accident. This is a case of, to me, road rage is nothing but ego. It's a pissing battle. It's the ego thing. That's all it is.
It's not
So
so
hold
much
on.
the ego.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
Why is it? Let's talk about it.
I'm a typical road rage driver, and I'm spit out what that video was about.
Go ahead. Go for
The
it.
car in the front didn't want to move over,
Didn't have to.
and he kept slowing down. And we didn't see the whole video. We didn't see how
They
far, because
slowed
I've
down.
seen this. So now you try to get around, they speed up, closing the gap between you and the other car in the second lane, so you can't get in front of them. So they probably was doing that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Okay.
I've just known from what I've experienced.
Fair enough.
But if you're going to be acting like that, you're supposed to have the skill to be able to get around. Whether you do it in the next lane or go into the local lane and come all the way around. If you're going to be dipping and dodging the traffic like that.
I'm
So
not
he
debating.
clearly caused the person that tried to go around caused the accident. They
But
let
I
their
think
anger get the
Why
best
are
of
you
them.
driving like that?
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Take it on my damn.
We don't know
Let me
what
tell you
the
something.
speed was on it. Everybody is moving at the same speed.
The one that's going in and out, zigging, zagging.
Now, no, you can see that the car in the front slow. If you're gonna be driving like that, why are you in that lane? That's why you in the express lane.
Can I get back to my original thing? Because you didn't answer my thing, Joe. You explained what you saw, and I'm agreeing with what you saw. I'm agreeing with it could have all been avoided, and just like he could have gone around and went to the low lane to get it, whatever, right? My initial statement was road rage is based on people and their egos. And you said it's not. So I want you to explain to me how it's not. How is it not?
Why would it be ego? If I got somewhere to be, I'm not working on your time. That's ego.
And they ain't working on your time. So isn't that your ego speaking? I ain't working on your time, so I'm going to do what I want to do. And then the person that's combating you, well, I ain't working on your time. So it's two egos battling when you should just, hey, I think of it like this. I got someplace to go. You're driving too slow in front of me. I'm gonna
go around.
Maybe not, but people tend to do is I want to go around in front of you to prove to you going too damn slow. And now I'm gonna pump my brakes so you could potentially crash into me. It's egos. It's nothing to me but two egos. And you haven't described how it's not. I'm just trying to figure it out. What else is it if it's not ego?
Sense of
I agree with
entitlement.
you. If you didn't want to drive behind that person, you go around.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have to be at the same speed as you.
Correct.
So I would have went
around.
around. That person tried to go around as well. And look what happened. I need to watch the video again because it looked like the car in front sped up when he was trying to go around.
Whether he did or he or she did or didn't. I don't even know if it's a woman driver or not because the damn thing and busted up in front of the call that. That's why he had me dying. He's like,
Point of the matter is like you shouldn't be driving like that on the road. Nobody should be acting like an asshole on the road.
No.
I've seen this far too often where people are zigzagging out of lanes and it's not going no damn where. They're just to be doing this shit. Zigzagging out of lanes. You don't know how people drive. Other people have different ways of driving. Some of these people may not be quick to get on their brakes or not. And it could just be one millisecond that you clip somebody's car. That could have been far worse than what it was.
For sure.
Far worse. And my thing is, don't tell me I can't drive in the fast lane. If I'm
You shouldn't be driving in the fast lane if you're not doing the speed limit. That's my point.
I'm maintaining the speed. Don't tell me I can't drive in the fast lane. And
we're not supposed to be in the fast lane if you're not maintaining the speed limit.
Let me finish my statement. If I just said, if I'm maintaining the speed, I should be able to drive in whatever lane I want to drive in. I pay my taxes just like everybody else does. Okay? People who want to get on my ass and flash your lights, I'm going to fucking slow down. Because, I'm going to have my ego, too. I'm going to slow down on your ass. I am going to do that. I'm not even going to lie.
Why are you doing that? Now I don't slow down.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what happens.
Because I'm driving my drive and you want to drive and you want to flash your lights? No.
So can we agree it's an ego thing?
It is. I'm not saying it's not.
To a degree.
Yes, it is.
I'm not saying
because sometimes it's not an ego thing to me.
When?
Now I've gotten to a point, if you're in that lane and I want to get around you and you're not moving with me, I'm going to go around you.
I'm talking about, okay.
No ego here. I'm just trying to get to where I'm trying to get to.
Let me read. My comment was road rage and ego thing. It's all based on ego. Road rage. Not you're going around and I'm like, oh, you're going too slow, I'm going to go around. That's not road rage. I'm talking about road rage. It's ego.
Road rage is when you are coming upon somebody who's driving the speed limit.
What we just
and
showed.
You start flashing and you start honking your horn and you go around and jump in front of them and then you slow down. That's road rage.
Facts. It's all based on.
Yeah, if you slow down and fuck with them now, yes, that's ego talking now.
I
I'm
said
not doing none of that.
I'm
I'm
not
just
saying
going
it's not.
around you and going about my business.
I didn't say it wasn't ego, but people don't do that. They don't go around.
Correct.
I'm driving my speed. You come from way back. First of all, you 3 lanes over. You come from way back there. Now this person is too slow in front of you, so now you want to drive and get on my ass? No. Go back over there.
Here's
That's
my
her
thing.
ego talking. You hear, right?
No, she admitted it. She said it. I will say this. Road rage in and of itself. I don't care what scenario you want to then the act of having road rage is 2 people. It can only be 2 people because you got 2 people driving.
The drivers.
It's a contest between their egos. You ain't gonna get over me. I'ma win. Someone wants to win. And what the fuck are you winning? Oh, I got ahead of you. What I got ahead of you?
See, it's not about me winning. Honestly, it's not about me winning. It's not. It's about no. I'm gonna tell you why it's not about me winning. It's about you not intimidating me. That's what it is. You're not gonna intimidate me by coming up behind me, flashing your lights, trying to make me go faster than the speed limit because you want to drive fast. Yes, if I slow down based off of your actions, yeah, I'm being an asshole too. I'm not saying that I'm not. But what I'm saying to you is you're not gonna force me to go into another lane by flashing your lights at me. Go to the fucking other lane. It's there.
But y'all getting caught up too much on the semantics and y'all getting at the micro level. I'm just trying to take it to the macro level.
What you just hold on.
No, I already established as ego. Now I'm taking to the next level and saying.
But see, this is where I'm disagreeing. Okay.
You want to tell me about the semantics of how it's going down. Road rage. Forget of who did what, slow down, whatever. We already established it's 2 egos battling, right? And I'm taking it to the next level saying it's about who's going to win. Jay just said, it's not about winning. You're just not going to intimidate me. Her argument to win is going to do what I need to do so that you don't intimidate me. At the same time as you winning your own personal argument. The argument whoever's. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm at the macro level. I don't care how we can slice and dice road rage. It's about winning. And to me, it's what are you really winning?
But
because you're risking, hold on 1 second. The risk that you're taking outweighs whatever you have concocted in your mind of winning.
I don't debate that.
You see what I'm saying? To me,
I don't debate that. But do you disagree that them coming up on you, flashing your lights is not a form of intimidation?
It can be. It absolutely is. That's the winning argument for you. You're not debating, and I'm good with that. I'm good with it. You know, we can slice it and dice it, whatever it is. I was trying to lift you up from the semantics of what it is. But at its core, because I like to just anchor on something. To me, it's all the intimidation, driving fast, how I get around. I don't give a shit.
The risk behind it is somebody could get hurt, period, point.
Bad.
Gotcha.
So that's what I look at. And this is coming from a retired person, a retired road rager. And still to this day, I may see somebody might do something stupid and I'll be like, you fucking idiot. I'm going to say it, you know what I'm saying, in my head, but I'm not going to go all willy-nilly and crazy because to me, it's dumb. What are we getting out of it? What are we winning? What are we losing? We can lose a lot. So I don't really give a shit. But Joe, you wanted to say you got a different conflict.
What I'm looking at is I just drive like that, period. I like the speed. I have a need for speed. So this is not ego for me. I've always been, if I come up on somebody and they don't move or they're not going the speed limit, I'm going to just go around you. I'm not going to honk my horn. I'm not going to flash my lights at you. I'm going to just go around you. Now it becomes ego.
Hold on. We're missing it. What you're describing is not road rage.
But
that's not road rage.
You guys is road rage because I'm driving crazy. I'm driving fast.
But
no, I'm not just saying you. I'm just talking about drivers who are on the highway would look at me because I'm trying to get around you, or I do the dipping and dodging between traffic to get around. I'm a road rager because I'm doing
that's not what road rage is. That to me,
I know that's not what, but some people look at it that way. I'm giving this. I've been a more road rager than you have. I've been driving for a long time, and I'm telling you, it's not ego until you guys are going back and forth. So now I get in front of this person. Person didn't like the fact that I cut them off. So now they speed up to try and do it again. That's when egos are coming into play.
So let's just be clear what the definition of road rage is. What you just described just now is road rage. You dipping and diving and driving fast and all that stuff. I'm not saying that when we in a car with you and you doing that bullshit, what do I say? Stop acting crazy driving. You ain't driving road rages. You driving fucking crazy.
Exactly. You think that I'm driving crazy.
That's not what you said. That's completely different from road rage.
That is not. I did say that.
You
Normal.
some people, you said some people, you could laugh, Jed.
Yes,
People
yes.
deem that as road rage. It doesn't become rage until you're engaging with someone else. You follow me? Well, then
Because I'm driving
they're
like that.
dumb.
I'm driving
They're dumb.
erratic.
They're dumb. They don't know what it is. And you can't have rage until you're engaging with someone else. That's when it becomes a bit of road rage. What you doing, dipping and diving, shucking and jiving and dipping and diving, you're just driving crazy. And I say to you, you've heard me say this when I'm riding with you, bitch, do that shit on your own time when no one else is in the car with you and you want to drive crazy like that. Knock yourself out. But when I'm in the car, I ain't fucking with you like that. You just keep it a buck. You don't like it. Because at any point in time, listen, there may be some things that you do in the car that I don't like. There's things that I do in the car you don't like, right? So we don't get along with that.
We just drive our own damn cars. You drive your car, I drive my car, you drive your car, we done.
But I am mindful when you guys are in the car. The stuff that I do when I'm driving by myself.
Don't be faking a funk on this podcast. Sometimes you be bugging driving.
I do bug drive, but I bug drive more when there's no one in the car with me. I'm doing at least $120 on the highway all the time.
For what? Because I need the speed.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Fuck out of here. I don't give a shit about that. Good. Yeah,
I enjoy it. That's my time to relax.
Go on the NASCAR and go around the track with that bullshit.
But do you know that it's wrong?
Yeah, I know it's wrong.
Whether you enjoy it or not, it's wrong. So why do you do it?
Because I enjoy it.
But it's wrong.
That's okay.
Well, hang on a second. There's a lot of things people take drugs and that's wrong. And they still do it.
It'd be different if I didn't know what I know what I'm doing.
It's wrong.
So
listen, somebody taking drugs, that's on them. Somebody driving 120 miles per hour on the road,
that's on me.
No, so I'm depending. Yeah. I know I'm playing. Look at me. I can play devil's advocate or whatever. So I'm a defend you on that because that is wrong. What she's doing is wrong. Taking drugs is wrong. People still do it.
Taking drugs impact them individually. People driving on the road 120 miles per hour impact other people other than themselves.
It's not impacting nobody else. As long as I'm not causing no accident and I know what I'm doing. I'm not getting behind the wheel intoxicated. I'm not getting behind the wheel taking drugs or anything like that in my system. I know what I'm doing.
So guys, I'm just going to say to the audience, one thing about Joe that you must understand, if you haven't understood in the past, when Joe has a thought,
I said what I said,
and she's convicted on whatever thought she has, there ain't no motherfucking changing it. You know, Aries, true and true. And y'all, all your Aries, I got other friends that are Aries, y'all can come for me. But one thing about y'all is whatever you believe and you deem, and that's your thought, damn it, you gonna ride that motherfucker out. It don't matter what nobody say. But you'll always think about it later and usually come back and be like, yeah, I might have been wrong there.
I'm not going to come back later about this one. It's about my driving.
Not on the driving. She's
not changed.
10 toes down on the driving.
Listen.
So I drive my own car.
Not fact. Well, let's talk on that. I do drive my own cars. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been driving with Joe for many, many years. I'm going to let the record show it. And she could debate this and she could tell me, no, this is not true. But back in the day, there was a time which Joe wasn't always like this driving. I'm going to keep it a buck. There have been times we used to go back and forth, come into the little book clubs out in, we lived in one state and had to drive to go to book clubs with our friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joe, she wasn't always a crazy driver. I don't know when the scales tipped. I'm not really sure.
What happened? The people want to know.
I just did with y'all in the car. Yeah. Now I don't care anymore. You guys have been in the car with me long enough to know safety is important to me.
I'm going to say it again. There was a time back in the day where she was not driving like that. Okay. Then something happened. I don't know what it is. And I noticed there's a change. The change happened about 15, 20 years ago. Let's just keep it a buck. But prior to 20 years ago, it was a time she wasn't a laid back driver, but she was doing what she needed to do. She wasn't that zipping and
I didn't do that with you in the car. That's what I'm trying to tell you because I was being considerate of you guys.
You need to
be any of my old friends who I've known longer who've been in the car with me consistently, even my kids, if you call any of them right now, they will tell you. I've always driven like that. From my first car when I had that Nissan white Sentra.
Yeah, I just don't see the benefit. I don't know. I don't see. But again, you say it's
you said what?
You said she'll meet you at the place. But there's another reason why. So there's times I just have a thing. There's times when I will ride with people to, let's say we're all going to the same destination. Mm-hmm. There's times when I've learned because of certain situations that have happened where I'm like, you know what? I'm taking my car. Okay. Because when I want to get up and leave.
You want to be able to go.
I don't want to be at the mercy of someone else. that's still staying and having a good old time. So I don't like that. So again, I like that freedom, from the road rage bit. But look, for you guys that's driving crazy, first of all, for anybody that watched that and thinks the car in the front caused the accident, you know what? You're the wrong. I would hate for you guys. Anybody that thinks that the car in front caused the accident, to me, judge and jury, real talk, if it was a real courtroom and those people were weighing in on a real court case, I'd be so weird. That's why you gotta be careful, because a lot of times people, in no way, shape, and form of what we saw, the car in front caused the accident.
Nope, sure didn't. And
Around
then
ass,
insurance piece, they wouldn't have said that neither.
they wouldn't have said it. They wouldn't have said
Wouldn't have
it.
said it at all. He was
But
clearly in the wrong when he went around trying to get around. He didn't have, and you could clearly see in the video, he didn't have enough space to get in front of him.
Well, he didn't, because he clipped him, but then it lost control. And that, road rage, guys, so it's never worth it. You are risking the lives of yourself, others, and you will impact your loved ones. So let's not do it.
Can we add driving at 120 miles per hour also will impact the lives of you and others?
For all my BMW, let me get back here. For all my BMW people, you know what I'm talking about. You know what it feels like. So
I don't give a damn whether it's a BU, a Mercedes-Benz, a
it
damn
don't matter.
or whatever. It don't matter.
It's a performance car. You try to perform in that car as best as you can. I enjoy it.
Listen, if you want to drive fast to a racetrack, figure out within yourself what I need to go, have the speed. What are you missing in life? There's a void for you.
I'm missing the need for speed.
Well, you need a way to get that speed someplace else,
Well, I'm not going to.
Figure it out.
Life is fast enough, Joe. Slow down. Woosah.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Love on yourself. Anyway, as always, in this particular case, just like with Joe, it's her journey. The journey is yours. Live your life. No matter what we say, we joke around here. We have healthy debates. We can get spirited, and that's just how we roll. But the main thing that we will want important on y'all is that life is short. Live your life. Do what you do for you. No one else. You own yourself, not for anybody else. I'm saying a whole bunch of different shit here. At the end of the day, if anything in this particular episode resonated well for you, listen, tell a friend, okay? How we get these out. Guess what? When you're telling a friend, that shit is free. You ain't even got to pay for nothing, okay? We love you for listening. If there are topics that you want us to cover, send an email. We can be reached at NYAAPOD. P as in person. POD. NYAAPOD, the number 1 at gmail.com. Send anything you want to say, any feedback. And we appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you listening. Till next time, deuces.
Peace out.